Harry saying that he had to do everything he had to do to protect his family, and there's rather cleverly cut snapshot there of, so you don't know everything that happened behind the scenes, then Kate looking like daggers, like evil Kate. What do you make of all of this? Is he just taking millions of pounds to throw his own family under the bus? I
think he has taken millions of pounds to throw his own family under the bus. And, you know, all the Twitter keyboard warriors out there, they can get ready, because this little snippet that we've seen is very much past the sick bucket time.
No, it is.
It is.
I was sick in my own mouth.
Well, I honestly, I couldn't believe what we were seeing. We have a producer who starts off, why do you want to make this documentary? And then we've got this sort of almost a minute of these black and white atmospheric photographs, and allegedly Meghan having a cry, Harry throwing his head back in exasperation, and it's all poor me. Now, we've heard the Meghan and Harry story, their version of the truth.
So what's new?
Well, we'll have to wait and see till next Thursday. Next Thursday is when...
The thing is, I will watch it.
Yeah, of course I will.
Look, this is the annoying thing, and just before I let you crack on, Charlie, I am aware that loads of people will be shouting at their TV screens now, going, why are you talking about, why are you giving it airtime? Yeah, I understand that, but I will watch it. Anyway, carry on.
Well, you're giving it airtime, like the papers will give it, you know, lots of pages on it, because they are a high-profile couple, and everything they do, it makes news, and it reflects either good or mostly bad on the royal family.
Yeah, I think at this point as well, there is a fine line between me. I know that I'm going to be outraged by this. I know that it's going to make me angry. I know that I'm going to come here and slag them off for it, and I'm going to have to do all of that anyway, because I just physically can't not.
But what is amazing is the 1 minute 12 seconds clip that's been released has been released today while his brother and his sister-in-law are in Boston, you know, doing royal charity events, and this is just going to undermine that, as has the racism row. It's going to undermine the whole thing.
Let's talk about that a bit more, because there is a finite amount we can say about this Meghan and Harry documentary at the minute on Netflix, because the trailer has just dropped. Yes, it's toe-curling and sickening. Realistically, we all kind of know the kind of simp stuff that we're going to get from that, but the stuff that is very much bubbling away, and I would argue is much more controversial, is this royal race row. And I'm going to throw it over to you on this. I've certainly got a few choice words I'd like to say about this, but it's your turn. Go on. What do you...
Right, well, let me put my position quite clear. I've covered the royal family for 30 years, and I have never come across any member of the royal family involved in an act of racism, apart from Prince Harry, when he when he referred to an officer cadet in an unflattering way at Sandhurst.
And also a certain costume he decided.
A certain costume that he decided to wear at a party, but you could put that down to the exuberance of youth. Absolutely. Well, you could get away with it. It's not something I'd like to do. You could get away with it.
No.
Now, the question, and where are you from, is a standard question that members of the royal family ask people when they are at receptions.
Yes.
OK. Now, Lady Susan Hussey is, well, in my view, is a lovely lady. I've met her several times. She's served the royal family with total loyalty for 60-odd years. Now, she comes across Ngozi Fulani of this charity, and first of all, she moves her hair out of the way. That's a no-no in any man's language. Absolute no-no. And she apparently was trying to look at her name. Why not just say, and you are?
Yes, no, I get that.
OK. She then says, and where are you from? And that's where it all goes wrong. Because she keeps pressing. She clearly wants to get to the nub of it. Which Caribbean island or which African place are you from? Now, this woman is born in the UK and has lived all her life in England. I mean, it's that simple. And a few minutes earlier, she had a conversation with Nazir Afzal. Now, you may remember him. He was the chief prosecutor, the former chief prosecutor of the CPS.
Yes.
And she asked him the same question. And where are you from? And he says, Manchester.
Yeah.
And end of conversation. There's no further interrogation.
No.
Now, I don't know what got into Susan Hussey, you know, to continually probe you know, her background, because clearly Ngozi had said, I'm from England. It's that simple. You can't then turn round and say, but where are you really from?
Part of me wonders, I mean, we did have a picture of a particular lady on the screen earlier on. I don't know if we can bring that back up. I mean, clearly this was, you know, an event where there was a variety of people from a variety of different faiths and ethnicities and charitable things there. And look, I suppose you could say there that, well, I don't know, there is an element, perhaps, as has indeed been tweeted by various different people, you know, of various different ethnicities and colours and creeds, where it might lead to a question about what is the heritage of you know.
Sure.
And that in itself is not... So, for example, let me have a bit of context to this. You know, my dad is Greek Cypriot, my mum is Irish, right? OK, both those people are white, OK? So there is a key point of difference there, 100%. But if I was at an event like that and somebody said to me and was pressing a little bit, I would say, well, my dad's Greek Cypriot, my mum's Irish, I'm from Manchester. And I think you could end that conversation relatively quickly. From the transcript that has come out, part of me wonders whether or not this was deliberately teased out a little bit, whether or not there are very much two sides to this. It's possible, because I've read that transcript as well, and I'm like you. I'm always being asked, you know, where my background is. I'm half Scottish and half Italian. Yeah. So, there's always people asking... Am I allowed to ask where from in Italy? Yeah, it's Naples. Oh, there you go. That's quite easy. The Camorra. Don't mess with us. But what do you think of this? Do you see this? Do you view this, in your honest opinion, Charlie, as a case of, you know, a woman who's of a certain generation, who's probably been clumsy, probably has pushed maybe a little bit more than she would have wished, but actually didn't have any racial intentions? No, I'm convinced that she did not have any racial intentions. She's pushed the button wrongly, I think. She's gone a bit too far with it. I think once she'd started, she couldn't stop herself. That's my view. Susan Hussey's not a racist. Now, she has now ended her career as a member of the royal household in this fashion. And the problem with this story is it's another racial accusation again. The timing of it's interesting. Timing is dreadful, because you've now got Prince William and Catherine out in Boston where we're supposed to be, you know, focusing on their Earthshot Prize, the various charities they're involved in. Tomorrow, we're going to be discussing racism. And poor old William and Harry suffered the last time they left the country. It was in the Caribbean. Yeah. Look, just very quickly, I want to ask you, and I think it's a question, frankly, that a lot of people will shy away from, but I won't. Do you think that the lady in question here is making a bit of a meal out of this, or not? Well, she was the one who released it all on Twitter. So, you know, you've got to ask yourself, why would you do that? Why would you not go to the palace and say, I've been insulted by a senior member of the household? Okay. But she's perfectly entitled to have her say, and we now have... And also, as well, crucially, we weren't there. I wasn't there. No. I don't know. If I'd have been there, maybe my toes would have been curling and going, oh, just shut up.